Okay, quick video just to show you kind of the process for setting up search sets and ultimately appearance profilers with trade models that we're not getting. So just off screen I got my appearance profile, so I'll bring that back in as I need it. So in this project, just want to look at like our vent sanitary. So one difference between design models versus trade models with their systems and plugins, well, you typically, like if you select that model, it's not going to select the main parent that actually has all the information needed. Right, it's pretty barren and empty. So once you select on the parent for all this, then once you go into element, you should typically see enough information, fabrication service, abbreviations or whatever, something to go and identify what system's which will then ultimately be used for the search set. So in this case, I got my selection tree pinned to the side, search sets as well, properties pinned, and then there's this find items, which is right here on the home tab. And I have all these pinned. Then obviously the appearance profiler off to the side. So step one, basically what I like to do is just one model at a time. So in this case, I have just the 4G plumbing model shown invisible. So now it's just going to start with one system at a time. So with this, I'll go select the same pipe, and this is going to be sanitary waste, drain waste vent. So within the find items, you have to go tell it when you set up the search set which models you want it to go search through. Sometimes you can do all of them. It can really slow down your search sets and appearance profilers. So since like this is specific to this plumbing model, there I'm just going to select just the 4G that it's going to get pulled from. And then now you're basically filling out these different search parameters within that model to try and find it. So again, in my case, I want to go and use this sanitary waste fabrication service as my means of searching to go and identify. So with this, you're just going to go fill out the different categories, conditions, and values. So this one, we're going to go, it's going to be element. Since it's not showing up, hit the three dots, it'll research and pull in everything. And then it's just a matter of scrolling down to find it. Element, property. So the property that this sanitary waste is labeled in is fabrication service. So F, fabrication service. And let's see, where are you? So in this scenario, it's not showing up. Scroll to the bottom, hit the three dots. It'll research everything. Okay. Where are you? There it is, fabrication service. Condition. So this is where you have to be a little bit careful. So you don't want to be like too precise, too specific. Just kind of depends. So in this scenario, right, sanitary waste, I want to say contains, and I'm just going to go type in sanitary waste, capital and spaced, exactly as you see. So now just type it in. Oops. Sanitary waste. So now it's going to go search the model to find everything that contains these exact properties within just the 4G model. So now I deselect everything, I'm going to go and test it. I'll do find all. I have to click it twice, and it's going to go and highlight everything that got picked up within this search set. So one thing to keep in mind though, right, is sometimes it's going to be more than just that one search set, right? You might need multiple lines and multiple different search parameters. So in this scenario, like, and realistically, this is probably good enough for sanitary underground to go and colorize, but if I wanted my sanitary and vent to all be the exact same color, I have to go and add another search parameter that ties into the vent lines. So doing that, same thing, want to select up on the main parent of that piece of the model, and I can see fabrication service is sanitary vent. So now I'm going to go add an OR condition. So if you right click, and the one that you're typically going to use is OR condition. So what happens is, right, when you set it to that, you're telling it, find everything in this model that meets this first line, select it, or if it also meets the parameters of the second line, it'll also highlight it. If you didn't change it to OR condition, you had that turned off, it would have to match both of these line search properties exactly, otherwise it won't select anything. So I want it to be a little bit more all-inclusive and kind of add anything that matches this one or matches this search parameter or this one, whatever, and it's going to go highlight multiple systems at once. If I didn't, again, it'd be very specific and it might not actually capture any of the vent lines because right, both the underground and the vent don't meet both of these parameters. So that's more helpful when you get into like equipment or really small, unique items that you want to keep isolated. That's where you can really kind of fine filter that. But I'll put it back to OR. You'll see the little plus icon that shows up to kind of give the indication that that's the option that it'll also find. And then it's just going to go back through. Same thing. We're going to go into element, E for element. There you are, fabrication service. We're going to do contains. That way I don't need to type out the entire drain waste vent, semicolon, sanitary vent. I can just be a little bit more loose with its search parameters. Sanitary vent. So now when I go hit find all, now it's going to see it's going to select the vent as well as the underground portion together. So that's where I'll start. So now, right, that is my vent line and sanitary. So I'm going to go label this, or actually I didn't have to scroll up, but I'm going to go save this search set, the little binoculars, and then I'm going to go label it as sanitary waste and vent. And then now that that's saved, the appearance profiler, right, I'm going to go by set. Now when I hit refresh, and I scroll back down, this sanitary waste and vent is now going to show up. Now I have to go and assign a color. Then I should pick whatever color you want. In this case, I usually like to do this lime green as waste and vent, and then we're just going to simply hit add. So now, again, at the bottom of this list is here's the search parameter, and once it finds all those items, it's going to apply this coloring. If you want to do a transparency, if you want to do a color, you can do all that. So now, if I go deselect that, hit run, give it a second, and there you go. So now all of these systems that met that search parameter are then colorized to also match. And then you just rinse and repeat this process for all the different systems until eventually you get a model that has no more white or like kind of this default gray color that comes out of Revit. So when you get model updates from trades, right, once you load in the new NWC, you should automatically see white for stuff that's new, and then once you save all this and rerun it, it'll then recolorize everything. You always have to manually recolorize. The Clarity will not automatically do this for you, so just heads up to do that kind of manually still. But now that's saved, so kind of with the NWFs, the search sets are saved within the file as a, call it superstition or precaution, because I don't like to lose stuff. I will always, after I create every single individual search set as well as appearance profile, I will go resave and overwrite those files. So for the search sets, I go export search sets, and then from there, just go into ACC General Contractor, archive search sets, overwrite it, and we'll do the same thing with the appearance profilers, save, building 31A profiler. So the appearance profiler is not saved within the Navis file. You always have to reload that and then recolorize that. So keep that in mind. But at that point, it's saved, move on to the next system. So same thing. So this one, what is we got here? Probably some storm lines. Oops, I don't want this pinned. Period properties, I want this one pinned. So roof drain, yep, storm line. So now, and you just rinse and repeat, and you do that for each of your systems and the color coding that you want. So hopefully that helps get you started.